How many people do you know have tried piano? And how many of them have become proficient in piano? Probably that percentage is quite small. And that's because learning to play the piano is a very complex thing. It's one of the only activities that we do as human beings that use your full brain. All the parts of the brain. And today I'm just going to talk about a few things that you should be watching out for when you're learning to play the piano so that you don't end up feeling overwhelmed. You don't end up feeling like you can't do something because you missed a step. This is especially for beginners, but also for people who may have been playing the piano for some time and feeling discouraged or frustrated. There are a few things that have to happen in a piano lesson or a practice. A few things that you have to be always be mindful. One of them is body mechanism. This is a performance art. Whether you're playing just for yourself or practicing for yourself, this is something that happens in time with your body. It's a physical thing. So you have to understand the proper posture, how to sit, how to place your hands, and how to move your fingers and hands based on what you're trying to achieve with your instrument. That means you have to know the technique, you have to know your finger numbers, you have to know how they all coordinate together. My experience is that it takes a long time for piano players to learn what feels right for them at the piano, even just the sitting posture. I just came from a national conference for piano teachers and pedagogues. And every night we had concerts. And it was so interesting to see how many people would sit and fidget around. And I do this all the time too, because we don't take our instrument with us. Every time we're sitting to play, it's a new relationship, a new experience. And it takes some time for us to like figure out what is the exact distance, height, everything. You know, so many people, and we're talking about professionals, were just sit, fidget, sit, fidget. So if you're beginning, don't think that just because you watch the video on posture, you got it. You probably still have a lot of work to do consistently. So that's just an example of the need to pay attention to body mechanism. Second thing you have to pay attention to when you're studying piano is piano geography. Now, when we start piano, we talk about the 2 black keys and 3 black keys, and then we talk about the note names. Now, this is keyboard geography. And we talk about the half steps and whole steps. If you don't know any of this, I suggest highly that you have to understand these terms. This is the basics of understanding the instrument piano. I have a course, Simple and Beautiful Piano for Adult Beginners. So if you're learning for the first time, please check it out. So going back to piano geography, that's the beginning of it. But it doesn't end there. Even when you play advanced level of music, the geography and topography, meaning heights of the keys and how they relate with your body, really matters. And this is something that should be paid attention to continuously. And then there are elements of music that we have to understand, we have to pay attention to, we have to study. Things like pitch. Pitch is how high or low notes are. Rhythm, how long or short a note is. Intervals, distance between 2 notes. Chords or harmony, that's when 3 or more notes are put together to create harmony and chords. Key center. Key center defines where the central gravity of the pitch is and how music creates tension and resolves itself. Meter or time signature. It's a fancy word, but basically it explains the groups of beats that a music stays as its groove, its pulse. And all of these things are really important things to continuously understand and explore. Now, do you realize that I haven't talked about reading music at all? Now, reading music is important. And when you read music well, all of these things that I talked about starts making sense. But if you start from reading music, it can be really overwhelming. And you may restrict yourself from exploring, for example, the keyboard geography more fully. And you might get so caught up with like paying attention to details of this coded language that you are not paying attention to your body or the sound you're making. So reading music is very important, but it shouldn't be the only thing that you're working on, and it shouldn't be the only way you're learning to play the music. So here are some thoughts for you as you continue on your piano journey. And please watch my other YouTube videos. If there's an area that you're lacking, I hope I can help you. And if you're beginning, please check out my course, Simple and Beautiful Piano for Adult Beginners.